Hi, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. This is a late night chat. I always say that Beth and I are just two people doing what we can with what we have, and that really is true. Of course, we have a lot of support from what are now 115,000 subscribers. So all you guys are a terrific support for us. Obviously we couldn't do what we do without you. And we also, on the ground here, we have the Superman team, which is sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller, and they work incredibly hard with what we have to do. And we're being held in abeyance at the moment, but we're going to be back in action soon enough. But one of the things which makes what we do incredible is the feedback that we get at various times, and this can be a terrific compliment to us, making it a great success story for us. But also we have the situation where something that has happened that someone has seen on our channel, and it inspires them to do something. And one of the most incredible success stories for me, which makes it our success story too, but it's mainly the subscriber. A subscriber, it must be at least a year ago now, but a subscriber named John actually got in touch with me and said, thank you for saving my life. Maybe that should be thank you for changing my life. But what had happened was he'd had a terrific disappointment, which had been something of a crippling blow, and he had been just unable to get himself back in action. And he said, I have wasted 2 years just being on the couch, just watching television, because the disappointment was so great, and he'd really tried, I believe, to help, and it had been disappointed, and it just put him into apathy, you know. So something that he saw in what we did motivated him to get off the couch. And he said, I want to thank you for bringing that change into my life. He then had gotten himself a team of people, a group of people who were willing to work with him, and they were going out to Cambodia. And he wrote to me sometime later, and he said, I have my ticket, it's already bought and paid for, and I'll be leaving. And he gave me a date for when he would be leaving. Well, the story didn't end there. His plan was to go out to Cambodia, I believe it was, and he was going to work with very poor people, mostly kids, who were on the point of starving, and he was going to put up a good old-fashioned soup kitchen, and then later he would have been able to branch out as we've done. You know, the thing is, it's sometimes you create a monster, and a friendly, benign monster, but you create something that then begins to create you. And he went out there, and he worked at what his dream was, to help, and something didn't go right. He got disappointed again, and he got another setback. And I didn't hear from him for a while after that. I wrote to him and I said, you know, you can still help. You can go out and just help one person. You can still meet your dream. You can still realize your dream. I didn't hear anything from him for a while, but I'm going to see if I can find his letter. Life never ever stops surprising me, and then I got this letter from a man called John. And he said, "Terence, I'm John. The guy that you got through your actions off the damn couch and back to living again. I have 2 trips to Burma bringing medical supplies, powdered milk and much needed items. Please forgive the spelling. Next trip I'll film. I help the hill tribes, the Burma Gov, that's a shortening. The Burma government are trying to kill them all. Well, so I have found a good and just fight to make my own. Thank you again, my friend. I am also a Knight Templar out of Round Church, and I would like your permission to submit your name for knighthood. Your friend, John." John, I was so happy to hear that you had found your mission. Eventually, you know, if you keep looking, your mission finds you. That's what happened to us. We were just simple married couple. We were making fun videos, and that's what we were doing, making silly videos. And we were living on our hilltop in in a very humble situation, which hasn't really changed much. And something happened. We did something to help, and then one thing led to another. We got in some difficulty because we didn't realize just how regulated even here in the Philippines life is, and we're now paying for that by being unable to continue our help. But we are waiting, and we are convinced, we have faith that all will be well, and we will be able to resume our help mission very, very soon. And that's what we're hoping for. But John's story is an incredible story, because he suffered, as many of us do, he suffered a setback. And the setback was of such magnitude as to cripple him. And he spent 2 years on the couch. Now, this is not unusual for someone to suffer such a loss that they lose almost the will to live. And then he happened to watch, this is divine intervention in my book, something guided him to look at a simple help mission that is run by Beth and I, and something connected with him. And this is what happens when people, I've said very often that help is not, it's not just a one-way thing. People sometimes refer in a derogatory way about what Beth and I do as just giving handouts, and help is much, much more complicated than that. It's much more profound than that. With help, you have the help that is given to the person, so there's the receiver, but there's also the giver, and the two are symbiotic. They depend on each other. The receiver is allowing the giver to find a moment of truth, of power, of willingness to actually give without receiving anything in return. Now, you also have, and this is where a lot of people who are very strict on the Bible quote to us that if you're going to give, you should give quietly, anonymously, and not anybody notice. And there is a place for that kind of giving. But we have the internet now, and we have a way of showing some act of kindness in a way which will help someone who is watching to realize that they too can help. Now, it's not the idea you know, for those of a jaded viewpoint, it's not that they're supposed to get in touch with us and give us tons of money. No, it's not about that. It's about the fact that someone was seen helping someone else for no return. And then that person who is watching becomes part of, like a trio, a triad, where each is connected. The person who is received that gift and receives a message of hope. There's the giver who is trying to help someone to get themselves started. Now, as you can see by John's story, it's not just about the person that you're giving to who you are bringing hope to. Because when you're sitting there, even sitting there on the couch after 2 years of living without hope, and then you see something which tells you, wait, there is hope. There is a way where you can be united with the rest of the human race in a way that you may have given up hope for yourself. And it motivates that person to go out and do something. Now, in John's case, he thought big. He decided that he was going to go to Cambodia. He'd obviously been looking at a lot more videos than ours, and he'd seen that there is a great need out there, the same as for us in the Philippines. And that's where he decided he'd go. Sometimes you have to leave your home in order to do something. When Christ was becoming Christ, in his own town he was not recognized. In his own town he was just the carpenter's son. He was never recognized for being the Messiah in his own town. Isn't that incredible? But sometimes that is the way that it really is. If you think, Charlie Chaplin had to leave the UK to become the great Charlie Chaplin. And there are so many other people who have had to leave in order to be the one that they want to be, the person they want to be. Even Laurel and Hardy. Stan Laurel was English, and he had to go to Hollywood to find Oliver Hardy, to become the great Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. And so sometimes the leaving is the thing. Someone said, when I left the US, someone who became critical said, "You ran away." My answer to that is, damn right I ran away. Yes, I ran away. I ran away to find something that I didn't know what. And then I found a wonderful woman who shared my sense of mission, who wanted to do the same thing as I did, who was part of a family who were willing to help us to realize that dream and are helping us now. So John's example is a true example because he had the first disappointment which knocked him down, and it took him 2 years to get up. But he got up, and he finally realized that there was hope. And he realized not only that, but he found the strength within him to say, I can help, I can do something. And he had a great scheme. And he went to a foreign country, which is an incredible challenge in the first place. That didn't work out, and he returned home disappointed and not beaten. And then he wrote his strong letter saying, I'm the man that your channel inspired. and now I have found a fight, a just fight that I can make my own. And now he is going out there and he's making these trips, and he's already done that, and he's come back, and now he's ready to take out medical supplies, powdered milk, these things which he knows are desperately needed. So I really wish you well. I am full of admiration that you overcame all of these obstacles, all of these disappointments, these setbacks, these really crippling blows, and you got back up again. I don't know whether you ever, not to trivialize it, but I don't know whether you ever saw the motivational speech that Rocky Balboa, as the movie character in the movie of Rocky, and he talks to his son and he said, life is not kind. Life can be nasty, it can be vicious, it can smash you down to the ground, but it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. And that's the test. The test is not to be a victim of being knocked down and then just crying. The test of character, the test of strength, the test of a faith in a mission, in a great scheme that is greater than what we can actually sometimes see and understand, is there, and you get back off your knees and you get back up and you say, okay, what's next? What is the saying? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. I think that's something that I learned in the UK from someone who I would least expect to have thought that. But this is an acknowledgement of you, John. Thank you so much for sharing this great triumph, great win, and I wish you well in your upcoming trip. Stay safe, be brave, as I know you will. Bye for now.